Part 28 of Oak Trees Could Talk. Hello again. Well, we are moving right along as we read If Oak Trees Could Talk. I hope that if you have been following along that you're enjoying the journey. If you've just found us, then it is my hope that you will take the time to either read or listen to the archived blogs to where you do not feel like you've missed out on any of the mushy stuff. Today we are nearing the end of Chapter 14, The Family Gathering. However, we still have a little ways to go. You might as well pour yourself a nice cup of coffee or tea and get all comfy as we continue reading. Chapter 14, The Family Gathering. It's wonderful, Daddy. I always love it when you tease me. I love your stories. The boys love them as well. Daddy, they have missed you so much. They were excited and thrilled to be at Gramps and Grandma's last night because we were together again. They told me that you always did special things with them, such as your yard trips. They miss all of those times with you. They had not been in this house for months, but last night when they were here, they really enjoyed it. It was only because you and Mama were home and down at the oak tree. Both of you are the life of this house and this place. It's you and Mama that make this place a home, Amelia said as she began to tear up. Robert and the boys pulled up in the driveway just as Amelia was speaking of them. The boys flung open the car doors and ran into the house. They ran to Gramps and hugged him and then on to Grandma. Amelia stepped out to see if Robert needed a hand with the food. He was so prepared. He had paper plates and plastic forks, the works, just so that they could spend time together instead of cleaning up the kitchen after the meal. He also had a thermos of piping hot coffee just in case there was none. Baby, you thought of everything. I love you so much. Let me take that thermos, Amelia said as she leaned in and gave Robert a quick kiss. Mama and Daddy are going to love this. When Robert stepped inside the house, Helen grabbed him and squeezed him tightly. He still had his hands full of food when Henry moved forward, extended his hand for a warm handshake, and then he just grabbed Robert and gave him a bear hug too. Robert unloaded all the bags onto the counter and then shook Henry's hand. Everyone was so thrilled to be back together. Oh man, I smell Elmer's, don't I? Henry asked. Yep, Dylan said as he began pulling food from the bag. Sausage gravy, biscuits, eggs, grits, and bacon. Yummy, breakfast is served, just like you always served it for us, Gramps. Man, I think I will run away more often, Henry said with a smile. I wish you could, Gramps, Robbie said. We have missed you and Grandma so much. Don't encourage him, Robbie, Helen stated. He would be over here every day when the nurses at Glenview turned their backs. All of the family chuckled, but deep down Helen knew Henry would escape again if he felt he had reason to. It was good for all of them to be together. They each took their regular places at the dining room table as they've done numerous times before. Even though this was Elma's food, you would have thought it to be a home-cooked Thanksgiving meal, which indeed it was. The table seated Gramps and Grandma side by side, of course at one end, Amelia and Robert side by side at the opposite end, and Dylan and Robbie in the middle of each side. As they ate, they laughed and appreciated every second of the last minutes together before Henry and Helen went back to Glenview. Each of them pretended that the dread of the patriarch and matriarch of the family leaving wasn't weighing down heavy upon them. The time came, however, sooner than any of them wanted it to, for Gramps and Grandma to return to Glenview. Amelia, do you want me to drive you and your parents back to Glenview? Robert whispered while Amelia was cleaning up the dining room table. I really thought about it, honey. I think I will drive Daddy's car. It probably needs to have someone drive it anyway. What do you think? Amelia asked. Sounds good, but are you going to be okay? Robert comforted. I will just have to be okay, now won't I? Amelia stated with a sigh. Well, if you get there and need me, I'm going to stick around the house today with the boys. I think it will be good for the boys just to have a day with their old dad. That sounds great. We can make the day a fun day for them. I wish I could spend the day with you guys, Amelia replied, but soon we will all be together again. Helen walked into the kitchen. She did not appear to be half as upset about going back to Glenview as Amelia was. She and Henry had resolved to go back and do what they needed to do. Well, daughter, let's get the show on the road. Your daddy and I have decided to take Glenview by storm, sweetie. They won't know what hit them. We will be home in a few weeks, and all will be well. Are you ready? Helen asked impatiently. Yes, Mama, I guess I am ready if you and Daddy are. Where's Daddy? Amelia asked. Oh, he and the boys have gone out in the yard for a bit, Helen said with a tender smile at having mentioned the boys. He probably just wants to reassure them that we will be a family again. We do love those two more than life, Helen said softly. He also wanted to go see his old friend one more time before we left today. He thought maybe that the oak tree could help him remember a little more before he left. Well, okay. I will go get the car out of the garage. I thought we would drive Daddy's car if that's okay. It really needs to be driven, and this beautiful Sunday morning would be a perfect opportunity. What do you think? Lovely. It will be just lovely, Helen agreed. Thank you once again for tuning in or reading along with me. It is my hope that you've been enjoying my romance suspense novel, If Oak Trees Could Talk, for it has been my pleasure to share it with you. As always, I would love to hear from you. I want to thank all of you that have begun following my WordPress blog. Please continue to tune in as we are moving right along through the book. If you are interested in obtaining your own copy of Oak Trees Could Talk or any of my other books, please visit my Amazon author page. Also, if you are new to my video blogs and would like to catch up on the story from the beginning, please check out the archives in this blog or simply subscribe to my YouTube videos as they are numbered and in order. I am also a weekly contributor to the Lakeview Times. All of my videos are published each week at www.lakeviewtimes.com.